So today I wanted to tell you about two things that are really good about being an HR consultant that lots of people haven't thought of before they do it. So people often have their things that they're looking for, work-life balance, control, that kind of thing. But there are two kind of extra benefits that lots of people don't quite realise, so I'm going to share those with you today. And the first one is when you're working in HR in-house somewhere, HR manager or HR director kind of role, there's a constant hurdle you have to get over, because most of the companies that you might be working in, if you're working in-house, they have HR because they have to. They don't think, oh, HR, that'd be a really good idea. They basically have to have HR, and your job is often to convince senior managers, directors, people leading the organisation that you can add value, that you can do really good things, you can be involved early on in business decisions and really make a difference. You can do that. I mean, if you're good at your job, you can do that, but there is always that hurdle you have to get over. But with doing this, that hurdle just isn't there, which didn't occur to me when I started doing HR consultancy for small businesses. But actually there's a difference in that the clients you're working with have already decided they want you there because they've gone out and they've sought a recommendation, they've been recommended you, they've approached you, they are paying you. They don't have to do any of those things and they're doing it. Which means you haven't got to convince them why HR is a great thing. You can just get in and do it and they listen to you and it's brilliant and you feel valued without really having to do any of that convincing stuff. So that's really good. And the second thing that obviously sometimes people don't realise is all the tricky stuff that you have to do with HR, the stuff that's difficult personally, things like making people redundant or dismissing people, all of those sort of horrible things. They're always going to be hard, they're never easy, but actually doing it this way, it's an awful lot easier than it is when you're working in-house and you know everybody and you're involved with everybody. So if you have to make one of your friends or your people you've been working with redundant, that's hard, that's always hard. But if you're just going in and you're supporting the business owner in doing that and then you're going out again, you don't have a personal relationship, or not much of one, with the employees you're working with and you're making redundant, or whatever the difficult thing is. And that makes it an awful lot easier. I once had a client who asked me how my week had been, and I'd actually dismissed 3 different people that week. And so I just said, as you do, just having a conversation, he said, oh my goodness, that must have been awful. And I remember clearly thinking, well, it's not ideal, but actually it's much more awful for the small business owner. At least I've made that better for them. It wasn't actually that awful for me, which is really good. If you've been through difficult redundancies or other situations with people you'll know that's a good thing. So if HR consultancy with small businesses sounds like something that would be good for you, get in touch.